Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Bass Reeves, a Western comic. This is by Allegiance Comics. Allegiance Arts, I think, is the name of the studio. And this is the first issue. And in full disclosure, I had a couple of the guys, the guys who run Allegiance Arts, over on my channel on Wednesday nights when I do live talks. So I just wanted to have full disclosure. All right, so it's not even a secret. It's been shouted from the rooftops how much I love these comics. But for some reason, this one escaped me. I didn't know about it. I don't know why. I just completely missed it. Didn't see it. So I corrected my mistake and I picked up issue number 1. I also have a hardcover collected edition coming any day now in the mail. But I ripped this open and I started reading it right away. Again, I got to go into my spiel of my philosophy. I've been collecting comics my entire life. I kind of throw out the year 1974. So 1974 is pretty much the year that I started collecting comics. And it was superheroes. I liked superheroes. I like superheroes. I like the idea of superheroes. So that's why I got into comic books, to read about superheroes. I did not want to read about Western characters. Why? Because TV did Western characters well. Movies did Western characters well. So I didn't need to get a Western fix out of comic books. But nothing at the time did superheroes like comic books. So I actively avoided Western comics. I avoided war comics. Same thing. Movies and TV did war comics well. War stories well, excuse me. So there you go. I've since changed my mind. And not only have I since changed my mind, but I think my tastes are changing as an adult. I'm really, really into Western movies, comics, everything. So having said that, like I grew up watching Westerns with my dad. I grew up watching Westerns with my grandfather, but I still have never heard of Bass Reeves. So even when I first saw this comic so I missed this when it first came out. But then I saw it advertised, and I still didn't realize that Bass Reeves was a real person. You want to laugh at me? Go ahead, laugh at me. You want to know when I found out that Bass Reeves was a real person? If you check out my back catalog and playlist, go to board games. There's a board game called Western Legends. And Western Legends is real historical people, with the exception of a Batman promo, of real historical people, and you play them in a Western board game. Bass Reeves was one of the choices. So I was like, oh, Bass Reeves, he's a real person. There's a comic book about him. So I looked him up. And boy, I'll tell you this. If you or I made up a character, let's call him Nas Beeves, and he did everything that Bass Reeves did, people would accuse us of making up a Mary Sue. This guy was phenomenal. Check it out. Read the real history of Bass Reeves. Having said that, let's open up the comic and check it out. So this is issue 1. I think there's 3 issues that come out. I could be wrong. Season 1, No God West of Fort Smith. So forgive me. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. That's Kevin G. David Williams, artist. Kelsey Shannon, colors. Kelsey Shannon's phenomenal talent. All I know about Kevin G and David Williams comes from this comic, so I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, because Allegiance Arts and Entertainment, their comics are, I'm not even exaggerating, guys. I get nothing from these people. They're the best comics coming out right now, hands down. And I don't mean that to insult anybody else. I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to change my opinion. These are some of the best comics that are coming out, bar none. So David Williams and Kelsey Shannon cover. Eric Weathers, letterer. Hernando October. I'm so, color flatter. Oh, color flat. I thought he said. My crazy brain thought that said color flatterer. You're a nice little red there. You're a nice white. I don't know what's wrong with me. Patrick Stiles, editor, and Chris Kendrick, designer layout. And let's look at the indicia. So Bass Reeves, 2020. Okay, so look at whenever you have a Western, there's things that you have to have. If you don't have these things, it's not a Western. You have to have wide open spaces, the desert. You got to have gunfights, stagecoaches, sheriffs, guns. I guess you could have without sheriffs, but you know what I'm talking about. So here we have the sheriff is fighting, and what happens is going home in a casket. The judges are talking to the widow, and they're good guys. You always see in the Westerns, you got the corrupt hanging judge, and you got this, but these guys, what I like having a good guy to root for. And these judges seem like a good guy. They want what's best for the town. And they just say, we need a new lawman, and the other guy says, no, how many lawmen are we going to bury? How many lawmen widows are we going to talk to? We don't want, so we got to get somebody else. So he cut to Louisiana Bayou, and look at the color. Look at the color. Now the art, I'm going to say that the art is very cartoony. And that's not an insult. That is just a statement of fact. This art is kind of cartoony, and it does set up a mood. And I gotta say, over here, when I saw these like fronds, I don't know the name of the plants in the bayou, it kind of was like, wow, this is a Western, but here we are. You don't really see like bayou country in the jungles and swamps, you know, in Westerns too much. So I was kind of cool. And then look at the fire over here, just making these colors, just really good, lighting up everybody's face. The embers floating in the air. It's very moody. And what are these guys doing? They're smuggling moonshine and they're selling it to the Indians. Now, I'm a history major. I have a degree in Greco-Roman history, so I love my history. But the closer you get to the modern world, the less my academic knowledge goes. Like, you know, my regular reading and things like that I like to think I'm a little bit more than the average bear. But I know that there was like treaty set up that what we wouldn't sell alcohol to Indian territory. So these guys are selling alcohol to like Seminole Indians, I think it is. And now there's a bounty after him. And what are they doing? They're like, well, I hope Bass Reeves doesn't get Old Bass. And they're telling Old Bass is 9 feet tall. He has guns like cannons. You know, you could hear him whistling, and he'll send you straight to the devil. And they're telling these stories. Like once he took a bull right out of the mud, and carried it. That's how strong he is. And they're like, yeah, stop scaring us. You know, they're scaring each other. Just imagine how scary that is. They're sitting in the middle of the jungle. They know they're wanted. You know, for all intents and purposes, they could be loop guru and alligator people. You know what I mean? It's not like they have everything explored. So it's easy to get scared. You know, if you ever been camping and sitting like in a real, not like a KOA, but like a real in the middle of the woods camping, like every noise is a bear. I've done that. I lived out west, and I remember camping, and I had my pistol just underneath my pillow because every sound was a murderer, an ex-murderer, and every other sound was a gigantic bear. You scare yourself. So that's what these guys are doing. They may be tough guys, you know, but even tough guys get scared. And then Bass Reeves sneaks up on him, and he gives him and he's like singing. How scary is that? You know, how scary is that? And he gives, like, you know, will you be gathered like wheat or will you be burned like chaff? What a cool guy thing to say. And this guy's like, and he reaches for the gun, and he doesn't exist no more. He doesn't exist no more. So what does he do? And the other guy, he shoots the bottle of this moonshine, sprays all over him, and he's on fire. And he goes, I got his answer. Now what about you? You know, this guy's burned. So the rest of them surrender. Wise choice. So what an entrance. What an entrance. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to stop here. I already showed this page, so I'm going to stop here because my policy is any comic less than 5 years old, any comic that's still on sale, I don't like to showcase the entire comic because, you know, I want these people to make their money. So this is a trial over here. So this is Bass Reeves just turned in the people for the bounty, and you know, he sees this going on, and I'm not going to ruin the rest. I shouldn't even have turned the page. I should have just stopped there. But my enthusiasm for the comic got a little best of me. So, let's look at the back cover. Oh, and there's one thing I will show. Okay, it is an advertisement for a second issue, but I will show. There's a photograph of the real guy, the man, the myth, the legend. How cool is that? Okay, and this has a bunch of his exploits, his oath of office. So this is a real person. And here are other Allegiance Art comics. These are all excellent. These are all excellent. You know, ask me tomorrow and I'll say this is my favorite. But ask me the day after, I'll say this is my favorite. I just got this. So right now, this is my favorite. And the only one that's not being shown is the Saints, which is also my favorite. This one, I'm really intrigued by the Futurist because I have no freaking clue where it's going. Like the rest of these I could figure out because there is a logic to storytelling. There is, you know, Western storytellers, they do follow, you know, one step ahead of the other, like Legos. So I think I know where they're going. Futurists, I don't know, but that's not a bad thing. That intrigues me because I do like when who doesn't like to be surprised? So anyway, let's get back to Bess Reeves. The art was different. Like I said, it was kind of cartoony, but that's not a bad thing. It's a fun thing. This art, I don't know. It is different and it's wonderful, and the coloring, oh my God, is so good. Kelsey Shannon, the guy could do no wrong. And I keep talking about Kelsey Shannon because he's the one I'm most familiar with. These other guys, I'm definitely looking to see what else they do. And anything by Allegiance Arts, I'm a fanboy. And when I say fanboy, that means sight unseen, I'm getting any of their comics. Now, I don't want to get into the controversy that they kickstarted, and some Walmart had their comics first before the Kickstarter, but that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me because I kickstarted. This is from Walmart. You're dealing with Walmart, you're dealing with a boss or corporation, and you got to follow rules, or could have been big penalties. But they got to do what they got to do. That don't bother me. But I got big, fat, thick, beautiful editions, and I'm as happy as a pig in poop with these comics. So some people want to cry. That's on them. Start your own business and deal with giant corporations and executives and stockholders, and then come back and tell me if anybody did anything wrong. You sit there from your seat of naivety, and that's all I want to talk about. The controversy. These guys are, they were nice guys, a gentleman. They sent me messages afterward. That has nothing to do with the comic book. I'm just telling you, when you meet these people, when you meet anybody whose work you like, and then they turn out to be good people, oh my God, I'm a fan for life. I just did a showcase of a comic that I really liked, and then I interacted. I'm not going to say met. I'm talking about Savage Dragon. The guy's a lunatic, and it just sours you on the work. My liking and appreciation of Legion's Arts only went up after meeting, if talking through a webcam is meeting. I guess that's the modern way we meet people these days in these post-COVID times. I'm ranting. Okay, so let's get back to Bess Reeves. First off, now I'm fascinated by the historical character. I call me stupid, call me whatever. I didn't know the gentleman existed until a few months ago. Now I find out he exists from a board game. So how cool is that? I'm a big board game fanatic. Then I get the comic. I really, really like the comic. I can rant and rave. And I pretty much have. I've done a showcase for the Saints, and I'll probably do showcases for all the rest of the comics. Drip release. Sight unseen, I recommend anything by Allegiance Arts. Again, I get nothing from them. They don't pay me. I'm not working for them. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm just a fan of comics. And like I said in a live chat that I had with them, I want them to be millionaires. Doesn't take anything away from me. I want them to not have to worry about their mortgage. I want them to just sit down and make more comics. Why? That only makes my life better. Are you a comic book fan? Why wouldn't you want these guys to be successful? I don't understand these people. I brought up Eric July when I was talking about why are people attacking this guy? The guy's making comic books. If you don't like it, don't buy it. You know what I mean? The world is only better if Allegiance Arts. I want them to have 1,000 employees. I want the employees to be happy. Like I picture like dwarves, happily doing whatever. They're all like singing and whistling like a Disney song with birds flying in the air as they're producing comic books. Why would anybody be against that? I don't know. Some people are crazy. And again, I'm ranting because I'm a madman. I tried to keep it down in the live chat. I let them talk. I guess I'm crazy. All right, so again, I'll stop now. Focus. Excellent comic about a historical character. I think they're taking liberties as far as the stories, but you know what? Who cares? It's entertaining and it's fun, and I'm really digging it. And I'll stop here before I rant and rave and make more of a fool out of myself. It's too late because I already made a fool out of myself, but let's not try to make more of a fool of myself. But there you go. If you watch me, if you subscribe to me, I very rarely say this, but these are comics that I think are must-haves, okay? Bar none. Like, there's two companies now that I rant and rave about because I'm excited about. There's Allegiance Arts. That's these guys. And you could go to their website, Allegiance Arts, and just Google Allegiance Arts, Bess Reeves, Nora's Saga, and it'll take you there, Red Rooster. The other company I rant and rave about is Alterna. These are the two comic companies I'm just fanboys of. That means I get anything buy them sight unseen because I know I'm not going to be disappointed. And there you go. I'm a longtime comic book fan. You know, take it or leave it. That's fine. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But I just think, you know, for the price of these comics, you want comic book entertainment. There you go. I'll stop now. Focus. All right. See ya. Bye bye.